Very good afternoon to all. I am Dr. Parth Avle. I am the professor and head at Department of Homeopathic Pharmacy, Dr. D.Y. Patil Homeopathic Medical College and Research Center. And today all we have gathered over here for the new CPDC, that is competency based dynamic curriculum. So basically from the morning a lot of sessions have taken place. I know it is a very heavy session. To understand the competency based dynamic curriculum is not an easy task, and that too marathon of lectures one after the other. A presenter is coming teaching, next presenter is coming teaching, and then as Munir sir has said, 10% even if you take it as of now, it will be very good. Now my job over here is subject specific. So from morning it was general terminologies which were explained, and now we are over here to understand subject specific, because since we are the teachers of the subject, we have to implement our own curriculum. So we as teachers, our responsibility is to understand the curriculum template of homeopathic pharmacy, what are the intricacies which are there, how they are needed to be implemented in practicals, because now soon the NCH will make it in public domain. The syllabus has already been formed, the complete CPDC has already been formed. It will require a few days and then it will come in the public domain. As soon as it comes in the public domain, then we have to start implementing whatever is there in the curriculum. So just before I start with the details of the presentation, can anybody just recall few terminologies from the morning sessions, and now it has extended to the afternoon session? Few terminologies which are important for the CPDC to be implemented. It will be a very interactive session, as it has been told. We are here to solve the doubts. We will be having a lot of doubts. We will be having clarifications. So practical approach, yes.
The learning objectives,
outcomes, yes, assessment, competencies, teaching learning methods, early clinical exposure, PBL, Miller's pyramid, SLOs, Gilbert's criteria, Bloom's taxonomy. So we are all now familiar, at least these terminologies they come up. We are now familiar as to what you mean by competency, what are the types of competencies, what do you mean by SLOs, then how they are divided into Bloom's Miller's pyramid, then the Bloom's taxonomy, the Gilbert's, then how they are linked with the teaching learning methods, and how they are linked with the assessment method. So the CPDC template which happened in the last is nothing but the SLOs. They are mapped with the Miller's pyramid, they are mapped with the Bloom's taxonomy, Gilbert's, then the teaching learning methods are assigned and the assessment methods are assigned. So if we are on the same page as of now, it will be very easy for us to understand the template, because there are so many topics. Here few examples we will be seeing, and then once the entire syllabus is out, you will be seeing that in the similar fashion all the topics will be divided. So what are the learning objectives of this session? So at the end of the session, we will have a complete overview of the competency based dynamic curriculum for the course of homeopathic pharmacy. We are going to concentrate on homeopathic pharmacy now. Next, the process which was involved and which is involved, and what are the advantages and how it has to be implemented, because now it has to be implemented at the ground level. So what are the advantages and what are the implementations? We all know why this CPDC has been formulated. From the morning sessions, everybody is talking as to why the CPDC has been formulated. So basically the earlier was a more teacher-centered curriculum. Now we want to make it a more student-centered curriculum. Till now we were not assessing the outcomes, and there was a rather a more subjective assessment. Subjective assessment in the sense it was up to us what to assess and what not to assess. But now clearly it will be defined what is to be assessed of a student and how it is to be taught and how it has to be implemented. So this is what we are going to see in this presentation as of today. It is said that it must be remembered that the purpose of education is not to fill the minds of the students with facts, it is to teach them to think. So this change will now help the students to think rather than just to fill their minds. Till now we were teaching the student was learning, whether he is learning or not learning, we were not assessing. The final assessment took place after 1 year. Why? In between, internal assessment was not compulsory. So few colleges may be following the internal assessment, but that internal assessment was not counted. So the students were also not serious about the internal assessment. But now internal assessment is an integral part, the marks will be counted, the students will be made accountable, and that is why this sentence now carries more importance. What is the broad outline of the curriculum for pharmacy? It will have the preamble, it will have the program outcomes, it will have the course outcomes, it has got the teaching hours, it has got the course content, the teaching learning methods, the competency table, practical topics, assessment, and last is the recommended books. So the final syllabus document will be in this format. So we will be starting with the preamble. As Dr. Vipinjan has said, shown us, the program outcomes have been defined. Then the course outcomes have been defined. Each and every topic is spread over the semesters. We will go into the details. Each and every topic has been assigned teaching hours. Then coming to the actual course content. Then each and every topic has been assigned the teaching learning methods. Teaching learning methods have been defined by NCH now. Then the competency table of each and every topic has been formulated. Lastly, coming to the practical topics, the assessment part both for theory as well as practical, and then lastly the list of recommended books. So this is the systematic approach how the CPDC for pharmacy has been formulated. Now at any point of time you have any questions, please raise. We will not be leaving, I will be talking for 1 hour and then we will be addressing the questions. At any point of time, any clarification is required, any question you want to ask, please raise your hand, please ask the question so that we will be help you to solve the queries, solve the questions. What is the difference between program outcome and course outcome? Anybody? Here it is written, program outcomes and course outcomes. What is the difference?
Program outcome means BHMS at the end of
Yes.
the BHMS course, and course means at the end of the subject.
Yes. So program means BHMS, it has to be clear in our minds, and now course becomes the subject. Earlier it was said the course was BHMS. So we would in the earlier syllabus we were using the term course for BHMS course. Now BHMS has become a program, and the department of the subject which we used to say, now it has now called as course. So individual subjects which are there become the courses, BHMS becomes the program. So when we are talking about program outcomes, we are expecting those outcomes at the end of the BHMS, that is their 5.5 years. These are 4.5 years plus 1 year of internship. So after that what the student is expected, that is what is known as program outcomes. When we are talking about course outcomes, at the end of now it is 1.5 years. Earlier it was 1 year, now it has become 1.5 years. So at the end of 18 months, what the student is expected of homeopathic pharmacy. So after you are teaching homeopathic pharmacy for 18 months, what he is supposed to achieve in the course, that becomes your course outcomes. Now these course outcomes are not arbitrarily defined. They are defined in line with the program outcomes. So when do you say that the program outcomes are achieved? when that student will achieve each and every course outcome. So when he achieves a course outcome for homeopathic pharmacy, then only we will see that he is fit to go ahead for the second BHMS. If he is not able to attain the course outcomes, it is failed, then he has to give the supplementary or the repeater exam till he achieves the necessary course outcomes. Program outcomes, I will not be going into the details, Dr. Bipin Jain has already gone. So these are the program outcomes, they will be well defined in the final document as well, and these are the general program outcomes for the entire BHMS program. So we will not be going into the details, it has been already covered. What we are interested is in the course outcomes. So what a student is expected from the course of homeopathic pharmacy at the end of first BHMS. That is what are the course outcomes. So first, explain the principles that govern homeopathic pharmacy. We all know that there are different principles. Organon and pharmacy go well hand in hand. So what are the principles that govern pharmacy? He has to have the knowledge of that. Next, discuss the pharmacological basis of homeopathic drugs with respect to their identification, nomenclature, source, part, use, method of collection and preparation. So pharmacognostic comes into play. Herbarium he has in his first BHMS, he has to identify, he has to collect it. Preparation comes, so he must have all that knowledge at the end of first BHMS. Next, prepare homeopathic medicines respective to their sources according to the different scales and method of potentization on a small scale in a laboratory. So he has to prepare, old methods are there, maceration, percolation is for demonstration. So trituration, succussion, he must know which medicines are to be prepared by succussion, which medicines are to be prepared by trituration, in which class does it fall, and accordingly he must have the knowledge. And we are not preparing on a big scale, we are not a pharmaceutical industry, it is on a small scale in our own laboratory. Next, describe the pharmacology of homeopathic drugs with respect to types of drug action, sphere of action and pharmacological action of drugs integrated with materia medica, anatomy and physiology. So there are a list of drugs given for pharmacological action. The student must now be able to have the knowledge of the pharmacological action, and it will be now integrated with anat, physio and materia medica. So that integration has been now introduced. Earlier, very few were integrating. We were teaching the pharmacological action, but pharmacy was teaching pharmacy. Now it has integrated. If a particular drug is acting on a particular part, anatomy will talk about the anatomy of that part, physiology will talk about the physiology of that part, materia medica will talk about the indications of that remedy, and pharmacy from pharmacological action will teach that particular drug. So this is how holistic the knowledge will be given to the students. Next, relate the methodology of drug proving integrated with organon of medicine. So methodology of drug proving must be known, as Dr. Khurana had said, short-term STSH programs. Students can take up short projects. So this becomes one of the shorter projects. So he can design the methodology. So he must know the methodology of drug proving. Apply the principles of posology in different healthcare settings like OPD, IPD integrated with organon and materia medica. From the third semester, the IPD and the OPD postings have been proposed. So, second semester. From the second semester, the OPD and the IPD postings have been proposed. So, a student will not be taking the case, he will be standing in the OPD and the IPD, but his main intention is the posological aspect. Which medicine is given, in what potency, why is that potency chosen, what is the dose, what is the repetition, in what form it is given, etc. So he has posting in OPD, IPD, also for pharmacy, he has got posting in the homeopathic dispensary or the pharmacy. So the different dosage form, the different vehicles which are used, the holistic knowledge of that particular medicine will be received by the student.
This integration will be in terms of the practical hours, or it will be
practical hours.
So will be we have to club within practical.
Practical hours. It is, everything is well defined. We will come to that. Next, state the methods of standardization and quality control of homeopathic medicines to ensure the genuineness of homeopathic medicines. We all say that a genuine medicine should be given. So for understanding what is genuine medicine, he must have the basic knowledge of standardization and quality control. So he must not be able to standardize or quality test the quality, but he must have the knowledge about standardization, what are the different methods and what are the different methods of quality control. Explain the principles of pharmaconomy, dispensing and preservation of homeopathic medicines. What are the different dosage forms, how these medicines can be given, in what forms they can be given, and how medicines need to be preserved. This knowledge he must have at the end of first Bhms. Engage the principles of pharmacovigilance and adverse drug reactions in relation to homeopathic medicines. Many of us say that homeopathic medicines does not have any side effects, but nowadays pharmacovigilance is becoming more and more important. So that aspect also needs to be known by the student. Write an ideal prescription. Yes, at the end of the first Bhms, he must have the knowledge of writing an ideal prescription. Though he is not going to prescribe the medicine, he must know how an ideal prescription needs to be written. And lastly, evaluate the scope of research in homeopathic pharmacy in context with the recent advancements. So we have to be appraised with the recent advancements which are taking place, the different research models which are available, what research models can be used in homeopathic pharmacy. If a student comes to you tomorrow, he or she wants to participate in STSH and he wants to formulate a study design, you must be able to guide the student, and the student must be, it must be feasible for the student to adopt that particular research model. So that scope of research as well as the recent advancements must be known to the students. So at least out of 100 students, even a few students from first Bhms, they come up with a STSH proposal, it will be a very good achievement for the college. We are not here saying that all 100 students must go into research and must submit a research proposal. So these are on broad the course outcomes for the course of homeopathic pharmacy. Anybody has any questions, or we can go ahead? We can go ahead. Teaching hours, theory 100 hours and practical 110 hours. Now this has been specified. It has come in the gazette as well. It's 110. In the official gazette now it is 110. So 100 for theory, 110 for practicals. In the draft syllabus, which was said it was 130. Yes, but in the final gazette now it is 100 and 110. Yeah, it has to be correct. So the final gazette which has come, the rules and regulations Bhms 2022, it is 100 and 110. So 100 hours for theory and 110 hours for practicals. This is how it has been broadly outlined. Each of these topics again have many subtopics. Those will be included in the final document. So it is these are the different broad topics which have been defined. The teaching hours per topic, the terms in which they should be taught, the teaching learning methods, and lastly the assessment methods. This will be dealt in detail with the CPTC template. So we have general concepts and orientation. We have the raw materials, drugs and vehicles. We have homeopathic pharmaceutics, under which everything comes like posology and all other aspects. Pharmacodynamics, drug proving and doctrine of signature, adverse drug reactions, pharmacovigilance, quality control and standardization. Then legislation, recent advancements, and homeopathic pharmacy relationship with materia medica, anatomy and organ. So this is a broad areas of the topics. These are the titles. Under this there are various subtopics. In the final document, the topic wise hours are also given. So under general concepts and orientation, there are, for example, 6 and 7 topics. For each and every 6 and 7 topic, how many hours are also been given, and the total hours come to 100. So in the final document, the teaching hours are very much specified. Each topic, each subtopic, how many hours, how many terms, and the teaching learning methods and the assessment method. This is just a broad classification as to we have clubbed up the different teaching hours of each and every topic, and the broad classification has been given. If you see here over here, these teaching learning methods are applicable to all the topics. It is not that each and every topic must have these teaching learning methods. So we have lectures, we have small group discussions, we have problem based learning, we have case simulations, we have field visits, seminars and projects. And for assessment, we will be having MCQs, LAQs, SAQs, oral, viva, and theory. So broadly, these will be the teaching learning methods that can be used. These will be the assessment methods will be used. We will see each and every detail once we go to each and every example of CPDC test. Likewise, non-lecture activities. So it is called as lecture activities and non-lecture activities. Non-lecture activities also have been defined. Now, under practicals, again there are list of experiments given. It is very much straightforward, it is very much self-explanatory, so we have not added over here. Our main focus will be on the CPDC template. So under practicals, list of experiments are there, and the total number of hours of those experiments come to 48 hours. So for the practicals, then demonstrations, homeopathic. Under demonstrations, we have instruments and appliances, estimation of moisture content, chromatography, laboratory methods, preparation over the tincture, demonstration of study of drug substances as per the annexures, study and demonstration of vehicles, and lastly the macroscopic study of fractionation and medication of globules on a large scale. So this is the broad non-lecture hours. Practicals, demonstrations, OPD, IPD, they come under the non-lecture hours. So apart from the lectures, whatever teaching will be happening, that is will be coming under the non-lecture hours. So practicals, OPD, IPD postings, pharmacy postings, field visits, demonstrations, all are there included under the non-lecture hours. Clinical hospital work and then seminars. So he will be having the OPD, IPD, he will be having the posting in the dispensing section, and student seminars are also there. So accordingly 20 hours are devoted to clinical hospital work, and dispensing section and seminars 7 hours have been devoted to. So whatever integrated teaching, student seminars are now to be included, they have to be included under the timetable. We will be also seeing how a template can be formulated, how all these can be fit into a timetable. So these are the non-lecture activities which have come: practicals, demonstrations, clinical, as well as student seminars. All these will comprise of the non-lecture hours. Now we will be coming to the important part, that is the competency table. The earlier part, which we have the course outcomes, the teaching hours, they are self-explanatory, they are there, everybody can understand, everybody has the knowledge. So that does not require the understanding. What is more important is the competency table. Right from morning, what we are been concentrating was is on the competencies. Now the competency table, it will have the topic, it will have the learning outcomes. The learning outcome, then each and every competency has got a unique number which has been given. That unique number is been, the number will be HOME-UG-HP is the course code. So the course name is Homoeopathic Pharmacy. The course code will be HOME-UG-HP. So that is the course code. Each and every competency has got a number. It has got the course code followed by 1, Roman 1, that is first BHMS. 1 will be the topic, and point 1 will be the competency. So likewise, everybody, everything will have a definite number for to the competency. So So 1 by 1.1 is the topic number followed by the serial number of the specific learning objectives. So if you have 6 specific learning objectives, it will be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, whatever. Then generic competencies have been derived for each and every topic. What do you mean by generic competencies? General. So general competencies which are required are also derived, also defined for each and every topic. So what general competencies require? So problem integration, integration of knowledge, synthesis of knowledge, everything is defined for each and every topic. Then the subject area. Subject area means the topic. So potentization becomes the subject area. So subject area has been defined. Then the SLOs have been mapped to the Miller's pyramid. So each and every SLO is mapped to the Miller's pyramid. We know what is Miller's pyramid, knows how, shows how, and does. So each and every SLO will be either knows how, shows how, or does based upon the level which it belongs to. Next, the specific competencies are been defined. Now, for potentization, what will be the specific competencies? So that will also be defined. So for each and every topic, we have the generic competencies, we have the specific competencies. We have the SLOs. SLOs are mapped with the Miller's pyramid. They are classified as per Bloom's taxonomy and Gilbert's. So these are the columns which are there in the competency table. Next column will be the SLOs. That is the specific learning objectives or the competencies which are to be achieved at the end of that topic. So SLOs or competencies are now topic specific. So at the end of topic of potentization, a first BHMS student should be able to. That will become your SLOs. Next, each and every SLO, Bloom's domain has been defined, whether it belongs to cognitive domain, whether it belongs to the psychomotor domain, or whether it belongs to the affective domain. Then it has been also linked with the Gilbert's level. So Gilbert's level of cognitive, Gilbert's level of psychomotor, and Gilbert's level of affective. We know for Gilbert's under cognitive, what is there? Cognitive domain, Gilbert's level starts from recall and remember, second becomes understanding, and third is problem solving. For psychomotor, it is first is imitation, second is control, third is automatism. And here affective, first is receiving, second is responding, and third one is internalizing. It will require time, but once it gets fit in the mind, it becomes very much easy to understand each and every competency. So Bloom's domain tells us whether it is cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. Gilbert's will tell us at which level that competency should be. Whether it should be only at the recall level, whether it should be at the understanding level, whether it should be at the problem solving level. Here it whether control, automatism, or imitation. Here just receiving, responding, or internalizing. And we will be seeing the examples. After the Bloom's and Gilbert's is done, then comes the teaching learning methods. So whatever teaching learning methods Dr. Dharmendra Sharma sir as well as Munish sir has explained, those are defined for each and every topic. That does not mean that everybody has to use every teaching learning method. It is as per your use, what is feasible for your class. After the teaching learning method becomes the assessment. Assessment is divided into formative and summative. Formative means the continuous internal assessment. Summative means the final university exam. We don't have any control of the summative exam. It is theory and viva and practical examination. But we have now full control over the formative examination. We means all of us as teachers. So we now have a hold of the internal assessment. Internal assessment is compulsory and internal assessment marks will be counted, and for that formative assessment methods also